I'm loving it already. So I want to thank you all for coming. It's very important that we do come together and do the work that we do. However, I also want to make sure that that you know that I appreciate the sacrifice of time you're making today. And in respect of that time, we're going to try to be as efficient as possible. Try to keep this thing to an hour. Um, First off, I'd like to do a roll call, and please say present at the call of your name. All right, I'm just going to if it's okay, I'm just going to call you by your first name so we can expedite things. All right, Angela, Arika, Aya, Cobra, David. Okay, Doc, that's me. I'm here. Liz, Hayden.
Present.
All right. Jamie,
Present.
Joycelyn. Oh, sorry, Jocelyn. Put me in check. Jocelyn. John.
Present.
Kay. Pretty. Sabrina. Sandra. Okay, and we have 3 interns here. Are they here?
No, they
No,
are.
that's it.
Okay, great. Again, I just want to thank everyone again. Um, First of all, we want to take a moment to quickly review the minutes if you haven't had an opportunity. Let's take a minute. I believe they were already sent out, were they not, John? Okay, just take a minute, just to refresh yourselves, and then we'll just entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Yes. Absolutely. We can call it.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes. Second it.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded that the minutes be accepted as presented. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, the motion is passed. All right, we want to welcome our new members. And what we want to do is to have each new member come to the podium and speak so that we can hear them, what have you. Just to give us maybe a couple of minutes, just introduce yourself and who you are, maybe something interesting about yourself, et cetera, et cetera. And please know in advance that we all are very pleased and excited that you have joined us. So let's see here. Starting with, let me see, Cobra. Thank you. Help this old guy out. Did you guys hear that?
I did.
Hi. Good evening, everybody. My name's Cobra. I've been a resident in Niskey for about 5 years now, and you will see me probably out in my front garden all the time, gardening. That is my thing, flowers, and it is an ongoing process.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Cobra. Hayden.
Hi everyone, I'm Hayden Connors. I've lived in Niskuna for about 10 years. I'm really excited and honored to be a part of this task force, and I'm looking forward to learning and listening and working with everyone. I guess something interesting about myself. I work for the Speaker of the Assembly, and I've seen Jay-Z in concert 15 times.
Well, if you've seen Jay-Z, you can't be all bad. You're all right in my book. Thank you. Hey, all right, Jocelyn. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Jocelyn McKinney. I am a lifelong resident. I've been here my entire life.
Wait a minute.
Graduated in 1979, and I
Yes. Oh, wow, wonderful.
lived here my whole life.
Mm.
I too love gardening, so I need to know where you live. I'm just very passionate about this town. As I said, I've lived here my entire life. My brother served on the town board. And I never left the area because it's a wonderful place to live, and I'm excited to be a part of this initiative. So
Thank you so much.
Glenn.
All right, yeah, let's give that lifer another hand.
Jocelyn, are you J-O-S-E-L or J-O-C?
J-O-C-E-L-I.
Thank you.
Okay, and Sabrina.
Hello, everyone. I have been in the district since 2006. I now have my 83-year-old mother living with me, my 77-year-old mother-in-law living with me, and I have 2 teenage children. So this is why I want to get out of the house. My husband is deaf from an all-deaf family, and all total, we have 14 deaf people in the family spanning 3 generations.
Wow.
Equity and inclusion are very, very important to me, as is accessibility. It's important, once we're able to get a seat at the table, to have full access to the table.
Well said. And finally, Aya.
I will start off by saying I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, so I'm a little jealous. My name is Aya. I've lived in Niskuna for a little over 10 years. I didn't attend the elementary or middle schools, but I was a part of the high school's graduating class of 2020. And I am currently a political science and English major with a minor in Africana Studies at Union College. I started off on the Police Reform Collaborative with John, and I'm so excited to be here and to bring my perspectives as a young Black Muslim woman to the task force. So I'm looking forward to the work that we're going to do.
Thank you so much. All right, well, at this time, I'm going to turn things over to Jamie.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We are now going to move into the election of the Leadership Committee for the 2021-2022 year. So for our purpose tonight, I want to begin by reviewing the current nominees and solicit additional nominees. Afterward, we will vote for the Leadership Committee using paper ballot to ensure confidentiality. So the current nominees for chair are Dr. Hayward Derek Doc Horton and Priti Irani. 2 excellent candidates. I want to solicit any additional nominees at this time. Okay, and there are none. So the current nominee for vice chair is Kay Bodhanker, and there are currently no other nominees. Would anyone like to nominate anyone else for the vice chair position? Okay, great. The current nominee for the communication coordinator is David Amodio. There are no other nominees for this position at this time. Would anyone else like to nominate someone or themselves? And the current nominee for secretary is John Lemelin. There are currently no other nominees for this position. Would anyone like to nominate someone else or themselves for this position? Okay, great. John is going to pass around the paper ballots. Thank you. When you complete your ballot, you can return it and I will tally the votes.
So be sure, as you work through this, be sure and add Liz's name.
Liz has nominated herself for vice chair. When you're ready.
How are you going to select them?
You can bring them right on
Let's
up.
bring them.
Thank
Oh.
you. Or would you like to collect
Oh, yeah,
them,
I
John?
can grab, as long as they're folded up, promise not to look.
Already.
Oh, you're an overachiever. Oh, yeah, don't hold it different from everybody else. All right, got them all?
Thank you. Okay, the results. We have Doc as the chair, Kay as the vice chair, Dave as the communications coordinator, and John as the secretary. Thank you for agreeing to serve,
Thank you.
and I'll turn it over to you to facilitate the next section.
Back on the job. All right. Again, we want to turn now to a brief intern update. So, Ari and Jamie.
Ari, would you like to give it?
Ari, I'm sorry.
You want me to?
Just turn right there by the microphone. Why not?
Okay, so let's see. We had 3 interns this summer, and the working group chairs have or will be conducting their exit interviews with the interns and writing up a summary and a letter of recommendation for each intern. And we will be soliciting additional intern applications. for the upcoming year. And the last time we met, Ari and I had recommended a 3-semester approach, but looking at how the interns work this summer, we are recommending that we have our interns for the entire school year. So September through the middle of June. And so we'll be updating that application process. We anticipate that we will solicit applications and have them returned by the beginning of October. So that will provide the high school students with time to submit their applications and college students as well. And we'll use our same tool to evaluate the applicants and then present those findings to the new leadership committee and make offers to those interns. Any questions or comments about that? Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Okay, we want to move on to our working group updates. We want to ask each representative to limit their comments to 2 minutes. And first up will be John with Public Safety.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Doc. So let me give a brief introduction to the Public Safety Working Group, and I'll keep it to 2 minutes. So it's a group of people within the task force that are particularly interested in different parts of the town to look at from policies and procedure standpoint. So I think there was 7 of us last year. We lost a couple, so I do have some open spots on the committee, which is good, on the working group, which is good. So last year, and our charge is to look at the police and the courts. And the basic idea is to look at the policies and procedures of the organizations and look for any kind of racial inequities or racial biases, and then make recommendations to address them. Last year we formed, which was a lot of storming and norming. And then as we were doing that, Cuomo came out with his Executive Order 203, which you may be familiar with, which required all jurisdictions, all municipalities of the police force to do a police review. So we participated, we got 2 seats, and we participated in the town's review and commissioning of a police collaborative reform initiative. So that larger group from the town created a report. We were involved in writing some of it, and that report ultimately was open for public comment. It was passed by the town board and sent up to the governor's office as the police reform collaborative report for the town of Niskayuna. So, and we were very proud to be part of that. So that was kind of our big accomplishment as a group last year. This year, I think we have 2 things that we can look at. One is, how do we now work with the ongoing police reform collaborative implementation task force, which is just forming, and their charge is to implement these recommendations. And there's over 300, I think, altogether. So one idea for us to do as a working group is to work with that group and help them implement these policies and procedures, or at least identify the recommendations and track their progress. And they're just now starting to form their own implementation task force. So it may be a bit before they get started, but we'll be ready to work with them for that. And the second idea is to start looking at the courts. That's the other half of the effort that they're the scope of the Public Safety Working Group. And that's to start looking at the policies and procedures and any data that we can get regarding the courts here in Niskayuna. And so again, I'm always looking for new members, especially new folks. And so if you're interested, let me know or send me an email or whatever. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Next up is the Community Service Working Group. Liz? Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So last time when we were meeting in June, our working group was still waiting to hear back from the town senior center community programs folks who were running those programs, to get some data and information from them. We still don't have some of that information, though our intern did work on it during the summer. So I just got the notes from the intern about her experience from the summer, and we have to still confer with her about her findings. So we're still not where we want to be right now. We have a bit of work to do. I think our relationship with the school district is kind of on hold as well, while they figure out what their COVID policies are. I think they've got priorities that supersede some of what we need right now, and I think we just have to respect that. But we are moving ahead. I think we still need a little work on defining our role and scope. But after having discussed this with the working group back in May, I think we're getting closer. We're a work in progress. I just have to be honest about that. But we are still looking forward to doing the work and getting some answers to our questions and just getting a good grip on what's actually going on. For better or for worse, we're not anticipating anything terribly negative at all. We need to get things recorded and documented so that we can make some informed decisions moving forward. And that's about it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Sure. Thank you.
Now, the Data and Best Practices Working Group. Right here.
Okay, this is Preeti Irani. I just want to quickly thank whoever nominated me for the chair. I'm okay that I'm not selected, which is great because part of my life is still kind of unsure. But thank you and thank you all. So I'm still very excited to be part of the task force, very enthusiastic. Sometimes I get people a little worried with my enthusiasm, but it's just honest. But the Data and Best Practices Task Force, work group has been very busy over the summer. We met sometimes more than once a month as a subgroup and a group. And Dana, the intern, was very much part of it. And what we would like is we did present a lot of data. We identified frameworks. So we would like to present what we found as frameworks that the task force can use and potential indicators that we can use. I mean, there's still a lot of work left at the October meeting, if that's okay with you. We also, Dana also helped us pilot the self-assessment survey, and we can share the results with you at the September meeting if you'd like. So all I can say is we've done a lot of work. We have a pretty good idea now of what we're looking for. Our work group members wanted more time for discussion, so our September meeting will be more participative. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I just quickly add, Priti, I've heard some great things about the work that the Data and Best Practices Group, Priti and Ari, and everyone who's participating in that from the community. I've received some emails, and I just want to say thank you for doing that work. And I think a lot of there are community members reaching out saying how much they're enjoying the process and the work that you are all doing. And I think it's really great. So I'm actually, quite excited that you're going to be continuing focusing on that role because I think it's so important. So thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Now,
So sorry, I just have a quick question.
I'm sorry, yes.
I see here that I'm listed as a member of the Data and Best Practices Work Group, and to the best of my knowledge, I was part of the Public Safety Work Group, and I went on a couple meetings with them, but I hadn't really gone on any meetings for the Data and Best Practices. And just given my schedule, I don't think I could work on both, to be completely honest. So given my experience on the Police Reform Collaborative, I think I'd rather do the Public Safety Work Group. So I just wanted to do this.
Thank you. I hear you.
Okay.
From the live stream and the recording.
Well, that's right. We have to remember that the general public may be viewing us online, et cetera, et cetera.
I just wanted to say that I see that I'm listed as a member of the Data and Best Practices Work Group on the agenda. And to the best of my knowledge, I was on the public safety work group. I had gone to a meeting over Zoom, but I hadn't really done anything or participated with the data and best practices work group. And as much as I would love to work on both, given my schedule as a college student, I don't think I would be able to do that. So I think I would best be of a resource in the public safety work group. So, thank you.
So noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Aya.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I am a member of this data and best practices as well, but my name is not there. And please add my name. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So we're now at additional topics. I interpret that as any new business or issues that anyone would like to raise. I think yes.
Sorry, can I just, I'm gonna ask Dr. about. My camera too.
I know.
Yes.
Okay, I'd just like to ask about the working groups and chair and co-chair positions. I'm not officially a co-chair or anything, but I've attempted to step up a little bit in Jillian's absence. So I'm not really clear as to how co-chairs are elected co-chairs or whether it's actually just inside the group, because I'm certainly willing to step up and be Liz's co-chair, but I just don't know how we
Well,
went about that.
that's actually determined within the group. And so I'm sure that once you communicate that to the group, I'm sure they'll accommodate you.
Okay, I just didn't want to assume anything. Okay,
Gotta ask for what you want.
thank you very much.
See how simple that is?
Thanks, Liz. Thank you.
Thank you, David. So are there any other issues from the floor that someone would like to bring up that we might want to consider now or for the future?
Thank you. As we are entering the second year in our as a task force committee, this is the first time we are meeting each other as person. It's a blessing. Welcome all the new people, and we have a lot of work to do. And Doctor, you're doing a lot of nice work, so we had to do an open meetings with inviting all the community people. You know, our voices has to be heard, and we are depressed, oppressed with the others, but we are not taking any revenge, but we have to step up a little more and do some more action. That's what
Okay.
I say.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
So as you all probably are aware, my jam is accessibility. So different things we can do to really be cognizant and present of what accessibility looks like means coming to the microphone so that live stream can get auto captions generated. Also thinking about coming into spaces. And this for me is very difficult because I can't see people's faces. So if there's a way when we have meetings, we can sit in some form of a circle, semicircle, so we have access to people's facial expressions, even though in masks it's limited, it's very helpful for me. And it also creates a very different dynamic of inclusion.
Mhm.
And I think that's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. I think that once we get a handle on how to negotiate this new reality, I don't think there'll be any problems with accommodating you. It's an excellent idea. And thank you for bringing that up. Are there any other ideas, issues, concerns that we might want to at least consider going forward? Well, let me simply say again, I do feel it's an honor to be elected as your chair. Last year we had an excellent chair, Dale Black Pennington. I often told her that I would follow her anywhere, really. And I was, although I was a little saddened that she had to step off for personal reasons, she helped us lay down a foundation. This year, I'd like for us to continue to build on that foundation by focusing on results. So one of the things that we want to do is we really want to, when we come to the meeting, so as to expedite things, we want to make sure that we are presenting results. If in fact the work group is still in the process of doing, then it's fine to say that we don't have a report at this time. But I want to emphasize that much of the work, if not most of the work, will take place in the working groups. So if you haven't had an opportunity to join a working group, I want to encourage you to do so, okay? Because that's where the work gets done. We can't do so much here because time is limited. But in a working group, you can really accomplish things, and the group can meet as often as it feels it needs to accomplish its goals. At the end of the year, when all is said and done, I want us to be able to say, this was our goal, this is what we accomplished. It's really as straightforward as that, okay? We want to be goal-focused and not process-focused here, goal-focused, okay? Have we accomplished it? If there's an issue, then let's get some feedback in terms of how we can facilitate that working group. But the power is in the working group, all right? So that's the end of my sermon. So, so I just, again, one last call or any other thoughts? In my class, I'm a professor at SUNY Albany, as many of you know. And in my class, I always ask my students for questions, comments, or testimonials. Hearing none, can we entertain a motion to adjourn? Not everybody at once. Okay, so moved and properly seconded. We adjourned our first meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Thank you so much for coming in here. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.